All right, guys. So I'm going to start doing these every once in a while where I'm just going to kind of talk about how my day went. So it's kind of like a day in the life of a realtor. But the disclosure there is that every single day is different. So you're never going to hear the same story twice. So I'm just going to go through kind of what my day was like today. And then you'll kind of understand what it's like to be a real estate agent. Today was a really good day, by the way. So there's nothing crazy, nothing like a catastrophic happened. It was just a really good full day. So I started off first thing in the morning with a listing appointment. And a listing appointment is essentially where I'm just meeting with a homeowner to kind of get an idea of what their goals are. So then we get to see, why they're selling the house, how soon they need to sell the house, how much profit they need to make on the house to make those goals happen. And then I can take all that information and using market data and comparative market analysis that I prepared on the property to determine what it might sell for in the market. We can come up with this pricing strategy, a marketing strategy, and then also a follow up strategy. So that's a listing appointment. So that one was really cool. It's a really nice house on the golf course. Just like the backyard is the golf course, which is really cool. It's basically you get to go live in a golf community, and the price point is pretty reasonable. So I'm really excited about that one. I think it'll sell quick. We're going to put it on the market sometime in January, probably right at the beginning of the year. So that was day started off awesome. And when you secure a listing, that's what you want in life. So after that, I was walking to my car when I left that house, and I got a phone call from another homeowner. This homeowner called me and said, "Hey, the water department called me. They said that there's 200 gallons of water running at my house right now. I'm like freaking out myself. I'm like, okay, but I'm calm on the outside. I know that this is probably something catastrophic and really bad, but I'm like, hey, listen, it's okay. Just call the water department back. I'm like 30 minutes away from there. So call them back and see if they can just shut the water off, and I'll go back out there and figure out what's going on." So apparently the water department charges $70 just to go out there and turn the valve, which whatever. But they were also going to take a few hours to do it. So I had to run all the way on the other side of town, and I was just 100% expecting to see like a whole flooded house and like water pouring out from underneath the front door. I was scared to open the front door and then, have a tsunami hit me. But come to find out, just one of the garden hose faucets had not been tightened all the way. So uh, I don't know. I guess they turned the water back on and didn't notice or something. But crisis averted there. So then I had to run from there to a training. Lunch and Learn is what we call them. And they are hosted by the local Realtors Association. This one was sponsored by a couple lenders, Laura and Baron Wise with Atlantic Bay. They're pretty awesome. Food was delicious. So I got to learn about the GIS systems, and I've been using the GIS systems for like years, which is basically like a mapping system that the governments use, the local municipalities. But I learned a lot, and come to find out, this is really cool too. So the GIS guy who works for the county, who's teaching the class, I actually had one of his next door neighbor's house is the one that I closed, one of the ones that we closed on today. Hannah got that listing, and we got it closed today. So it was kind of crazy. Like yeah, I don't know. It was just his neighbor. I've talked to his wife before, door knocking. It's a small town, I guess. So I talked to him for a minute after that, and then I came back to my office. And here's where things get a little bit different, right? So with my schedule, a real estate agent schedule, we are kind of at the will of the clients, right? So I want to make sure that I'm accommodating clients and providing the best level of service possible. And part of that is accommodating them on time. My schedule is full, right? So it is currently 9:22, and I'm just now getting around to this because it has been a very full day. So I got into my prospecting block, which this is a 3 hour block that moves around throughout the day, right? So depending on where my appointments end up, it might end up being two 1.5 hour blocks. But regardless, I'm doing 3 hours of prospecting every single day. And today it was in the form of cold calls. So I'm calling expired listings. And an expired listing is someone who tried to sell their house with an agent before, but their listing agreement expired. So it's no longer on the market. So what I do is I'll call these people up and we'll take a really good look. I'll ask them why they think the house didn't sell, get their opinion, and then I'll do like a forensic type analysis on the listing itself. We'll go in and look at market data, comparable properties. We'll look at marketing that was implemented or lack thereof, and then potentially follow up, right? If there was some good follow up happening there or not. So I call these people, and the goal is to say, is basically to have the opportunity to meet them in person, to one, put my eyeballs on the house, and then two, see if there's a possibility for us to work together in some capacity. Like I had one yesterday where we ended up putting a cash offer on the house on behalf of some investors. And then today, the listing appointment this morning was putting the house on the open market so they can maximize their return while also trying to manage their expectations of time frame for selling. So we're going way more in depth, I think, than your average real estate agent does when we're looking at why a listing doesn't sell. I believe that data is really the source of it should be the basis for any plan to sell any home, because otherwise you're just kind of guessing and hoping. Like, anyways, we'll go down that rabbit hole another day. But if you're a real estate agent, then you should probably know your market and have a really good idea of how to interpret data. So, anyways, down that rabbit hole, we made all those calls. I got another appointment set up for tomorrow. So that makes two in Raleigh tomorrow, two listing appointments. One's for a condo and one's for a really nice house. And then after the 3 hours of prospecting, I had some operational tasks, an operational block. This is about an hour. Sometimes it's a little shorter. Sometimes it'll take a full hour, but sometimes it takes a little longer. My operations block is for managing all of my transactions, making sure all the paperwork is good, which honestly, I still need to work on that some more. Making sure that anything that a lender or attorney or client needs paperwork wise or follow up wise, like I'm just making sure all of my transactions and everybody involved in the transactions are all taken care of. This is also where I will prepare for like these listing appointments, because I don't just walk in there and just know everything. So I do a lot of research during this time frame, and I actually use some artificial intelligence in that process to look at market segmentation, yada yada yada. But yeah, so that's basically where I put those packages together. Any of the operations side of the business is in that block, but the prospecting block and the operations block, they are every day, right? So no matter what I'm doing, at least 4 hours of my day consists of those two blocks. They just move around, so I can't have them at the same time every day. It just doesn't work. So after that, I went to my Lions Club meeting. That was really fun. We talked about doing a neighborhood trash pickup, and then I got to have pizza and beer with my really good friend, Dr. Patrick Gallagher. We had some bro time. We got to chat about life in general, and then also some investment opportunities and how we can collaborate on those. It was really fun. Good time on that one. Now I'm back at the office trying to do some wrap up, make sure my calendar is good, my planning is done for tomorrow, and trying to get comfortable being on camera. So this is a life in the real estate agent. My name is Zach Lilly with East Point Real Estate Group. If you scan that little QR code, it actually has my personal cell phone number, all my contact information, stuff like that. If you want to talk about real estate, obviously, I don't mind talking about real estate. So give me a call, shoot me a text, and thank you guys for watching.